In 2007, one man was voted the best footballer on the planet. He was not Lionel Messi. He was not Cristiano Ronaldo. And after him, for the next 13 years, no one else ever would be. He was the last player to interrupt them. And the reason it happened is that for about 4 seasons, Kaká was untouchable. This is the story of the boy who fractured his spine at 18 and was told he was lucky to be walking at all. Ricardo Isaacson dos Santos Laiche was born in 1982 in Brasília. His father was an engineer. His mother was a teacher. That matters because it makes him almost unique among Brazilian greats. There was no favela in this story. There was no hunger driving him. Almost every Brazilian legend arrives with a poverty myth attached, and it is usually true. Kaká's does not exist. He came from a home with books in it, and he has said himself that football was a choice, not an escape route. He was a comfortable, well-schooled kid who was simply, obviously, brilliant with a ball. The nickname came from his little brother Rodrigo, who could not say Ricardo and said Kaká instead. It stuck, softened into Kaká, and eventually the whole world used it. He was skinny to the point that coaches worried, and so slight that São Paulo put him on a special diet to try to build him up. He signed with São Paulo at 8 years old and never left. 12 years at one club before he was old enough to vote. He played futsal indoors like every Brazilian boy, but he was a schoolboy first, doing homework between sessions. By 17, he was training with the first team, and the coaches had started rearranging things to fit him in. And then, in October of 2000, in the least footballing way imaginable, it almost ended. He was at a water park with family. He came down a slide, hit the bottom of the shallow pool head first, and fractured the 6th vertebra in his neck. 18 years old, with a broken neck. He walked out of that pool. That is the part that gets skipped. He got out of the water himself, felt something wrong, and only later found out how close it had been. The doctors were blunt with him. A few millimeters in another direction and he would not have walked again. Not football. Walked. He has spent the rest of his life saying that his recovery was a gift from God, and whatever you believe, understand what it meant to him. He did not think he got lucky. He thought he was spared for a reason. 3 months later, he was in the São Paulo first team. Within a year, he had won them a title. At 21, a club in Italy took a look at the tape and paid €8.5 million, a fee that would look like a joke inside 2 seasons. The club was AC Milan. And the man who watched the tape said afterwards that he had rarely seen a decision look so obviously correct so quickly. Milan in 2003 was not a place for young players to learn. It was the most decorated dressing room in Europe. Maldini, Nesta, Pirlo, Shevchenko. Kaká arrived at 21 and was a starter almost immediately, and in his first season they won the league. Think about what that requires. Walking into a room of men who had won everything, at an age when most players are still on loan somewhere, and taking a starting shirt within weeks. And here is what made him different. He was not a trickster. He barely did step-overs. He ran with the ball at full speed, upright, arms out, and defenders simply could not stay with him. 40 meters in a straight line, and by the end of it he had picked out the one pass nobody else had seen. The 2006 to 2007 season was the peak. 10 goals in Europe. Milan won the continent, and he was the reason, carrying them through round after round with the ball at his feet. And when the votes were counted for the world's best player, Kaká won the Ballon d'Or, and won it comfortably. That same year he was also named the best player in the world by FIFA, and won the Club World Cup, which meant that by December he had personally won every trophy on offer to him. He was 25 years old. He was a world champion with Brazil, a European champion with Milan, and the officially best footballer alive. Nobody watching thought this was a peak. Everybody assumed it was a beginning. Then Milan ran out of money.
In 2009, Real Madrid paid around €67 million for him, at the time the second biggest fee in history. He cried at his own farewell.
He had wanted to stay. And in Madrid, the body that had already given him one warning began sending more. A groin problem that would not settle, surgery, months out. He came back, and something was gone. Not the brain, not the vision. The half yard. The thing his entire game had been built on. When your whole identity is running past people, and you can no longer run past people, there is nothing to fall back on. A trickster can slow down and still trick. A runner who cannot run is just a passer. He was still good. He was never again unplayable. 4 seasons in Spain, in and out of the team, in and out of the treatment room, watching a new manager build the attack around a different number 7. The fee had been enormous. The expectation had been total. He met neither. And the hardest part was that none of it was laziness or attitude. He trained. He stayed quiet. The body simply refused to give him back the one thing that had made him unique. So he went back to Milan for a season, for nothing like the money. Then to Orlando, in Florida, to a club that did not exist yet. He was their first ever signing, their first captain, the face they built a franchise around. And he gave them 3 seasons and a stadium full of people who had never watched football before. In December of 2017, at 35, he stopped. And the tributes that came in were strange, because they were not really about trophies. Almost every one of them was about the same thing, that he was decent, that in 20 years nobody had a bad word, no scandals, no red cards worth remembering, no transfer sagas he engineered. A man who won the Ballon d'Or and then spent the next decade being polite about losing his place. In modern football, that is almost eccentric. He is the rare superstar whose story has no villain in it at all and no scandal to sell. Just a career that peaked early, faded honestly, and ended without a single person having a reason to speak badly of him. Here is the thing people miss about that award. Between 2008 and 2020, Messi and Ronaldo won every single one. Kaká is the last name before the wall. The last man in on the old world, and the door shut behind him. A boy who broke his neck at 18 got 4 years where he was the best thing in the sport, and then 12 more of being told he used to be. He never once sounded bitter about the trade. He got up from that pool, and everything after it, he counted as extra. If this story stayed with you, subscribe to Beyond the Boots for more. The boots tell the story. We just follow the footsteps.